It's time for sours.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's what I've been waiting for the entire time. It is the sour episode.
A session of sours.
Yes, and today specifically, German sours. Part 1 in a 3-part series of European sours. Yay!
Nice.
We have, and I'm going to butcher this name, so I apologize in advance, the GASTHAUS and GOSEBRAUERI Berliner style Weisse, and then we have an American version of a Gose. Now, I tried really hard to only get beers from their country of origin. However, there's only one company producing a real German Gose in Germany, and it's these guys. But there were no bottles to be had here in California.
Unless we drove all the way to Germantown. We're not going to do that.
We can't afford Germany this year. Maybe
Budget.
next year.
Maybe.
GASTHAUS and GOSEBRAUERI is not located in Berlin. So that's why this is a Berliner style, because like champagne, Berliner Weiss is a protected geographical designation. So let's just drink already.
I'm down for that, ja.
Yeah.
Gasthaus and GOSEBRAUERI.
In Leipzig, not Berlin, which is why we are talking about a Berliner style Weiss, not a Berliner Weiss proper.
Geographics.
We have touched on this before because in our cucumber episode, the Captain Fatties was a Berliner style. The Hottenrot that we had in one of our diet episodes is also in this style, but again, they're not located in Berlin, so they can't use the true name. This is the first time I've ever had a true German sour, so I am really super excited to do this. So let's just get to it.
It's going to be hilarious if she's disappointed.
It really is. It's gonna be sad. Nope, not disappointed. That is really good.
Very good.
Napoleon's troops, when they first encountered this in Germany, called it the champagne of the north because it's very effervescent, just like champagne is. Lots of bubbles in there.
Champagne of the North!
This style is usually just around 3%, so it's really easy drinking. Napoleon, however, was kind of put off by the strong acidity, so he asked for fruit syrups to be poured into it, and that's generally how it's served. We had that once. Ryan and I were up in the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo, which has a lot of really great sours, and one brewery did actually serve a Berliner style beer, and they gave us these little syrups to pour in. It was like cherry and raspberry. I didn't care for it. I like my beers tart by themselves.
Maybe Napoleon would have liked this more if the bottles were shorter.
That's actually a myth. At the time, all men were about that height. They weren't tall like you. They were short like me. I'm 5'2".
Well,
You're 6'3".
I outgrew society.
So I plays basketball.
Which is why I'm an upper being.
Hashtag one more dunk. I am loving this.
This is very good.
Okay, so our off-camera producers are begging for some right now. So we're going to hand this over while we talk a little bit more about this type of beer. Because it's so low in ABV, it's really easy drinking.
Oh, yeah.
But it is pretty tart, I'm not going to lie to you. That comes from the lactobacillus that interacts with the ale yeast in there. And actually, true German scientists believe you need a little bit of Brett in there. Brettanomyces is a yeast, which usually turns really funky. So the Germans think that this needs just a little bit of funk character, but it shouldn't be super heavy. So funny story. Mad hacker dude named Andreas Bogk in Berlin was very disenchanted with the Berliner Weiss that was available. He didn't think it was being made with the historically accurate recipe. So he created the German version of a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign and raised enough money for him to illegally break into a lab and harvest yeast from a 25-year-old bottle of a Berliner Weiss. And the Kickstarter was funded 7 times over. The finishing bid was 715% over what he was asking. And so he's able to brew it in small batches. It's a microbrewery that he created. It's Bogk beer in Berlin. And apparently he was able to harvest his original strain of Brettanomyces, that was indigenous to Berlin, and is making beer to provide for all of his backers.
So has he fulfilled all those orders?
So the Kickstarter was in 2012. The article I read about him was in 2014. And at that time, he still had not fulfilled all of the orders. But that was 4 years ago, so hopefully he's caught up.
Perhaps
and if
he's opened a brewery?
It is, yeah, Bogk Beer. It's a microbrewery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, maybe if we ever get out to Germany, we should go visit. So next up is a Gose. Now, I couldn't get the German real Gose.
Shame on you.
I know, but there are some American companies making these, and this was the only one I could find that didn't have a lot of fruit in it. So, like the Berliner Weiss, they add fruit to them to kind of cut the acidity and the sourness down.
Okay.
It's nice and sweet. It's a little bit sour and a little bit sweet, which is cool, but this one doesn't have fruit in it. So I'm super excited.
Okay.
Gose is an old style of beer from Germany. It's dates back to the Middle Ages.
Middle Ages?
Yeah, from the city of Goslar. It was on the Gose River.
Is that where Ryan Gosling's from?
The city of Leipzig, where that brewery that we had the Berliner Weiss from is currently located, had a ton of these breweries. And then after World War II, production kind of died out, and like the last remaining brewer who knew how to brew these died, and there it went.
And nobody picked up his legacy? What a bunch of dicks!
So somebody convinced a brewery to start brewing them again in the 1980s, and in 1986 it came back. Whether or not it's, historically correct is a different story. But this is a lot like the Berliner Weiss in that it's got lacto in it. It's low ABV, around 3%. It's a wheat beer. The difference here is that this one has salt and coriander in it.
Okay.
So the saltiness kind of like enhances that sourness from the lacto. And I don't know what the coriander does, but it's good.
Let's just see about this, shall we?
So we've had Goses before.
We have.
Avery El Gose. That was in our top 50 beers. And then during our Beerocrats, I was drinking a Sierra Nevada Open Abyss, which is in my top 5 beers. I actually had one last night.
Did you?
I did. In preparation for filming the Gose episode. Uinta, we've had their Baba Black Lager. It was the first black lager I'd ever had. And now we're following it up with their Gose. Hey, Utah, bringing us some good stuff.
Yeah. It almost motivates me to Gose there.
Nope. So today, we started on our sour journey in Germany.
Yeah!
We had Berliner Weiss style, and we had a Gose. So those are the 2 remaining sour beers coming out of Germany. Everything else is dead.
Dead.
It died. But these were delicious. The Berliner Weiss is highly acidic, very bubbly, like champagne, very dry on the finish. And that's why fruity syrups are added to it, which I've had and didn't like. I like sour.
Okay.
The Gose has some salt and coriander in it to help temper that acidity from the lactobacillus. And they're both fantastic.
They were delicious.
You will find fruity versions of that as well. And, the previous one that we had at the Berliner Weiss, or one previous one, had cucumber in it. So, whatever. That was not a good trip.
At least it wasn't cactus.
That was worse, wasn't it? I think that was worse.
That topped the not top 10.
So that's it from us here at Beerocrats TV. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little like, maybe a little share with your friends. Tell them what it's like to drink sour beer. Give them some education.
Hey, and leave something in the comments section. Let us know what you're drinking. Let us know if you've drank these. Let us know if you like them, or you hate them, or you're indifferent. We don't care. Just comment.
We would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We do care about our commenters.
Well, we just want them to comment. We just want them to say something.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us out. And if you want to be one of the first ones to see our videos, Tuesdays at 11-ish Pacific time, hit the little bell icon and it'll let you know.
Subscription.
Ooh. You can find us online, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as @BeerocratsTV.
You could also find our personal accounts on Twitter, @PFont and @LordFawns with 2 Z's, and Instagram, @PFont again, and @Eric_Fontanez with 1 Z, because I want to complicate things.
He doesn't understand branding. That's all right. We understand you. We like you. We hope you like us. And we'll check you out next time here on the Beerocracy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, bureaucrats! Need more bureaucracy in your life? Here are 2 more videos you should watch.